Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming.
So we're going to take a look at the Intercessors to see if they're currently being undervalued by the community. They've got a pretty good ability. They're relatively cheap. The weapons profile is quite balanced with quite a few keywords added to it. They've got a couple of upgrades you can give them. The good thing is they've got lots of characters that can join them. Whether that's beneficial or not, we'll look at. And there's lots of availability out there in kits because they come in a fair few combat starters or start your army kits, as well as the 10th and 9th edition kits. You can usually get them in quite a few different kits available, and they're easy to pick up secondhand at the likes of eBay and that, either painted or not painted. So there's lots of availability there. So we're going to look at their basic datasheet. So they've got the standard Space Marine profile for T4 body, 2 wounds, 3 plus save with objective control 2, and a leadership of 6 plus. Movement 6 is standard. So they come with a bolt rifle, which is 2 attacks, ballistic skill 3, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. It does come with a heavy and assault keyword, so if you stand still, you're hitting on 2s, and you can assault and still use your bolt rifle. So it's quite a flexible piece of equipment to have. There are a couple of upgrades you can give to them. You've got the grenade launcher, which can be added onto one of the bolt rifles per 5 men in the unit. The frag option isn't that great, but the crack does give you a little bit more punch if you've got something tough charging towards you. So it's 1 shot at BS3, strength 9, -2 AP and D3 damage. So a little bit harder hitting than your standard bolt rifle. You've got an upgrade you can give to the sergeant. You can give him a plasma pistol, but it's probably not worth it for the range. When you're actually coming to use it, you're probably already dead, so you're better off just staying with the bolt rifle initially. You can give him multiple options, but the most efficient option to give him is a power fist. It comes with 3 attacks, weapon skill 3, strength 8, -2 AP, 2 damage. Now the Thunder Hammer does come with devastating wounds, but you are losing 1 on your weapon skill, so you're less likely to punch through anyway. So the devastating wounds aren't really going to come into effect, because on average you're only hitting once to twice. So if you only hit them once, you've then got 1/6 of a chance to be devastating wounds. So it's not really that beneficial. Their ability is where they shine a little bit more than other units. They have objectives secured. So if you control an objective within your command phase, after that command phase, once you move off of that objective, you still control it, and you only lose control of this objective once your opponent then takes control and controls it at the start of any turn. So it's quite hard to remove you from objectives, especially backfield objectives. You could easily stand these guys on them in the command phase and then walk them off and hide them somewhere, and you've got almost no ability to lose that during any part of the game. Because if you're quite close to the objective still, they won't be able to deep strike on it and take it from you. And if there is the threat of that, you can always just walk back onto it anyway. So what buffs exactly can you get from characters joining this unit? So there's a variety of different characters that can join the unit. It's 95 points per 5 man, so it's relatively on the cheap side. So we'll just go through each one. So first up, you can have a captain. He's not the most beneficial person to join, but you do get a free CPUs per battle round, which is okay. The lieutenant gives you lethal hits, which is quite nice, and does give you the ability when you fall back, you can still shoot and charge. So he's quite a nice option to have there. The librarian gives you a funeral pain of 4+ against psychic attacks, and also gives you a 4-up vulnerability save. So if you do want to hold on to objective, it makes you much tougher to remove from it. The apothecary allows you to bring back 1 model per command phase, and when the unit dies on a 2+, you gain 1 CP. So he's not too bad as well. The chaplain gets you +1 to your wound roll and melee, and any unit that's within 12 inches of the chaplain, 1 time per battle, he can remove their battle shock. That's at the start of a phase, so more for when you want to potentially use a stratagem on a unit rather than taking objectives. And then the ancient gives you +1 to your objective control per model. So as you can see, there's a fair few different options you've got there. But your best options, if you're trying to hold the objective, probably are going to be the librarian or the apothecary, because it just allows you to hold it for longer than you would necessary. Or if you want to put a lieutenant in there, it gives them a little bit more shooting damage, so people might be less likely to take them on with very weak units. And if you do get charged and you survive, you can fall back, shoot, and charge right back in. So it gives you a little bit of flexibility of exactly what you want to do. So all in all, looking at the unit for 95 points, it's probably slightly on the expensive side. It would be nicest to see it at 85 or 90 points, but it does have a very good ability that you can utilize, especially if you've got multiple squads. I can envision a couple of these being used in the competitive game if people go that way. Some people focus far too much on damage output and damage efficiency, whilst at the same time forgetting it is an objective decision-making game, not necessarily a killing game.
Thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, then pop them below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button as it greatly helps the channel. Hit the subscribe button to see any future Warhammer content. Take it easy and see you next time for more grim darkness from the 41st millennium.